Kezianok, tell me more about the single touch framework or method that you use in here. Now, this refers to a video that I was talking about in regards to the difference between a reactive and a proactive accountant, and the philosophy that we use at Aureus Financial that allows us to provide proactive strategic advice to our accounting clients that ensures that not only they meet their compliance obligations and they optimize their tax, but they actually have total financial control as they grow and scale their business. Now, the high-level things that I'm going to cover off in this video are actually covered in one of my international best-selling books called Seven Figure Profits that I've written with my business partner and head of accounting, Rakesh Nan. And what we cover off in this book is essentially a breakdown of our philosophy around the single-touch accounting process. The idea is that most accountants are looking through the rearview mirror, they're looking in the past, they're glorified financial historians, and as a result, they're not going to help their clients be able to maximize their ability to achieve their goals looking through the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror is this big for a reason. We want to look through the front windscreen, and that requires us to have strategic conversations around what you're actually trying to achieve. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is the Aureus success system. So basically, first things first, we take our clients through a really detailed fact find. We try and get to know our clients better than they probably know themselves. The more information that we have, the easier it is for us to be able to identify opportunities. We then take them through what's called the elite audit. We review their current situation, their tax structure, their cash flow, their tax planning, and any of their compliance gaps. There's about 90 points that we go through when we conduct the elite audit for our clients in order to capture the low-hanging fruit. Third, we go through a one-page tax plan. We present a strategic plan and we break that down exactly how we're going to work with them and the areas of focus. We then go into damage control. We work through any of the required improvements and ensure that they've actually got a solid foundation. Once we've got through that damage control, we want to get ahead of it, and we do that with systems and rhythms. We want to make sure that we've got routines that keep you ahead of your obligations and remove any of those potential surprises. And then we end up catching up regularly to go through the strategic planning and continue to optimize the results. Now, the actual one-page tax plan revolves around this process that we've got. And we actually have a similar process for each of our businesses, our profit coaching business, and also our wealth advisory business. And the first thing we do as a foundational level is we go through plan A. What are the goals? What's the strategy? What's the cash flow? And what are the compliance obligations that we need in order to achieve a particular profit objective? Now, at the end of the day, revenue is not what's going to get you where you want to go. It's got to be profit. So ultimately, we want to define all of these things to allow you to achieve your goals outside of the business and your business goals, have an appropriate strategy to get there, ensure that we control the cash flow, and also maintain all of your compliance and tax obligations. And that will require us to have a certain amount of profit to get there. Then we go through plan B. We work through the tax structure, should you using companies, trusts, bucket companies, partnerships, whatever that might be, in order to ensure that we've got the appropriate structure. Reporting, how do we give you visibility and clarity around what it is that your business is doing, and how do we optimize your results for success? Protection, how do we make sure that you're protected with the right agreements, documentation, insurances? And then how do we start talking about succession? God forbid, if you got hit by a bus, what would happen to the business? And how do we start removing key person risk? And this gives us clarity. And ultimately, we'll want to assess this as a percentage out of 0 to 100% of your peace of mind. Then we get into the making. We go through the tax planning, and what this allows us to do is to set basically a quarterly target for how much you need to have in your bank account in order to meet your tax planning objectives, your minimum requirements. What are you going to need? And in an ideal world, we want to make sure that we're over-saving in all of these buckets, okay? And then once we've made sure that we've got these milestones in play, we then want to have a conversation around the exit. So what's your business's value? How do we maximize that value if you ultimately want to sell one day? And we want to make sure that we can be distributing the profits effectively so you keep as much of your hard-earned as you possibly can. That will then determine exactly what we're doing in terms of working towards financial freedom. And then we start talking about legacy and wealth transfer. How do we make sure that we can keep that money that you've got and make it work for you? And that's part of our wealth building strategy. Now, we call this our Aureus Accounting Delivery Iceberg, which basically consists of the cadence of going through all of the components of our client engagements, right? So there's weekly things that we need to do. And all of these things cascade together. And the reality is, I can think about an iceberg. Everyone wants the stuff that's above the surface, but there's so much stuff hidden beneath the surface that is required to be there in order for the amount that you see above the surface to be there. So all of the value that you want, the strategic advice, the proactive guidance, the help with decision making, is all based on the prerequisites, right? And there's certain things that need to happen weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, annually, and as required in order to ensure that you can achieve those objectives. And if these things aren't in place, then either the information is going to be double handled, or it's going to be inaccurate, or people are going to be unable to give you that advice because they just don't have the information available. So this is our system that we use, and we've used it to help our clients amass over $3 billion in combined wealth. Yes, that's billion with a B. So if you're interested in finding out more, jump in the link in my bio, go grab 7-Figure Profits, see how we do things differently. And if you want a second opinion about how we can help you optimize your tax and start working towards building your business profit, and then taking that profit and turning that into wealth, jump in the link in my bio, wealthhealthcheck.com.au, complete the 40-point financial performance scorecard, and let's have a conversation and see how we can help you implement this system. Hope this helps.